Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and today I'm going to be talking about 5 potential problems with Kill Team. Now let me preface this with the fact that I am very excited about Kill Team and I'm very much looking forward to it. I did one of these videos about Star Wars Legion before that came out and people weren't particularly happy, but I was only trying to do it to calm down my own hype because I'm hyped about Kill Team, no doubt about it. I'm very much looking forward to it. There's a lot of I did several reasons that I'm excited about Kill Team, and this is sort of just the counterpoint to that. So some of what I'm going to talk about I do believe, but I don't necessarily think are unassailable problems. Like, I don't think they're going to kill the game or anything like that. So just to get that out of the way, I'm going to talk about 5 potential problems with Kill Team. Some of these may not even be true because it's still a bit early and they might end up being complete nonsense. But let's start. Number 1, I'm not going to do, I always start off with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. 1. It seems to me that there are unique tactics in specific box sets. So for example, the Killzone core set, which is like 70 quid, something like that. They mentioned about having like unique tactics. Now tactics seem to be something that are either, I think there's generic ones maybe, or there's at least they're specific to each faction. But let's say the Skitarii who are in the core set, if you just buy the models, you don't necessarily have access to the unique tactics that are in the core set. Now the tactics they're unique to the race, and there are specific rules that are going to let you do something unique to that tactic. It's hard to explain because they're going to be quite different each time, but it's a bit of flavour to that army. It also seems to say, like, you know, the Kill Team boxes, so the Fangs of Ulrich or what have you, they have unique tactics. Now, what happens if you have all the models for them anyway, but you don't have those tactics? Are you going to buy the Kill Team box for it? Probably not. It's not, I just feel like it's not an ideal situation to have rules for specific factions tied behind purchases. It's sort of, I don't want to say pay to win, but it sort of gives you that sort of sense and impression about it that maybe like I can't have everything I need because I need to go buy a specific tactic. Obviously games like X-Wing and stuff like that, I've done that in the past, but it's still not great. It's not a great setup. So that's one thing I'm not happy about. If I'm wrong on that one, great. If they all end up being published and you can just use them, I will be ecstatic about that. Number 2, one I've spoken about quite a lot in almost every video I mention this. I'm not particularly happy about like the amount of terrain in every single box. There's a personal reason and like a sensible reason for this. The personal reason is I like making it for the channel and stuff like that, and if Games Workshop are just packaging it with everything, that's not great for me. But on a more serious note, having the terrain in the box just is increasing the cost of the boxes, especially if you just want maybe the tactics. Like if I want to buy the Fangs of Ulrich, I don't necessarily want the terrain with them, I just want the box. And it just, it's awkward. Like, it's good in the sense that you get in the terrain at quite a good value. I just don't, I think there should be an option with and without. Like, it shouldn't be a case that literally almost everything has, the core set has it. You've got the kill zones, they obviously have it. And even the Kill Team boxes, they have it. I'm surprised the bloody core set book on its own doesn't come with terrain. Now I'm being a bit facetious there. But yeah, I personally don't like it. I think it's going to increase the cost. And for people who just want to dab in at a cheap price point, it sort of reduces that, it takes that away. Like if I could just buy the Fangs of Ulrich or the Orc Boys or whatever the hell they're called, just the models, get my data cards, get my tokens and be done, and maybe look at 15, 20 quid, a little bit more like Shadespire kind of price, I'd be a happy man. And I think new players might have wanted that, but that's not the case, and they're putting it in a lot of the boxes. Not in every box, but they're putting it in a lot of boxes. And that leads me sort of onto the next one, which is things aren't properly like sold separately. Like, it doesn't seem that you can just buy, say, for example, the tokens, or as I just mentioned, the Kill Team. You can't just get the actual models to the Kill Team, or even the tactics. Like, Yeah, you can get the data cards and fill them out yourself, the blank ones, but you can't just buy the Fangs of Ulrich data cards and stuff like that. How big of a problem this will be, I don't know. I think a lot of people get the core set because it's got the terrain and the board and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just like not selling things separately at this earlier point makes sense, I guess, to them because they don't want to have a shed ton of products, and maybe it'll be like Shadespire down the line. They'll start separating things out, but again, it's just something I think would have helped. I want to say promote the game, but people would have looked at it and been like, yeah, that's a good thing. I can buy these separately and crack on. And the fact they're not doing that at the minute. Now, I know they obviously are selling the core rulebook separately. You can buy the models separately, as in you can just buy your Space Marine core set or box of Space Marines and play the game. Like, that is possible. And then you could buy your data cards and stuff like that. So it's not impossible to play without buying things separately. Like, you can buy things separately and still play this game well enough. It's just I feel like they should have made them a little bit easier. Like, the kill team should have been separate. You should even have, like, why not have a little set of generic tokens for like £5? I mean, I feel like that would be a nice little, I won't say gesture, but it would sell, so it's not even a gesture. Now, the next one, number 4, is complete conjecture at this point. A lot of people are saying that the rules might be a bit too simple, and this is possible because obviously it's like, I don't want to say a dumbed down version of 40k, but they're trying to make 40k a skirmish game with possibly more simple rules. People are saying it might not be as good as other skirmish games because GW don't necessarily have the history behind it to do it. Obviously they have done Kill Team in the past, so they actually do have some history, but they're not necessarily as focused on this as, say, like, you know, Guild Ball, X-Wing, God Tier when that comes out. You know, there are, like some people say, Infinity, Malifaux, these kind of games. They may have more depth, but my counterpoint to that has always been, well, this is likely to be more popular, and people are like, well, I don't care about popularity, but I sort of do care about popularity in the sense that I want to be able to play the game with people very easily. I don't want to struggle to find games, which with some of those games I mentioned could happen. But it's true, GW's balance in the past hasn't necessarily been particularly great, so a simplistic rule set might actually happen just so they can try and keep the balance. It's too early to say. I don't want to. How can I talk trash about the rules when we don't have the rules? So far, so good. I like the alternative activations. They seem to have a mechanic where you can. I like the movement and the charging, and I like the readying up to shoot, so you can try and shoot first. I like the sound of it so far. The cover rule seems very simple. It's like you're partially obscured, you're in cover, done. Like, so far I like it, but I can understand how maybe in a year's time, maybe the rules have been overplayed and there's not been extra added to it and that kind of thing. But premature, that's what we are on that one. But I wanted to mention it because it's a possibility. So, you know, I said at the start, some of these aren't ones I believe. This one, the simple rules thing, I'm not convinced yet. I need to wait and see. Now, the next one is one I think followers of GW who may not have actually jumped in, or people who have jumped in and been burnt by this, might find this a bit of a problem. There's a chance, maybe quite a good chance, that it won't have a very long shelf life and it will just get replaced. Obviously, Games Workshop have a lot of focus in other places, mainly the main 40k series, but hopefully that'll translate into kill teams. Maybe every like new codex you could have a little kill team to go with it. Just saying, GW. But I think, was it Shadow War Armageddon, essentially had this same sort of vibe. They released a little game with it and it had a lot of terrain, and people pretty much just thought it was to sell the terrain, and the fact that they're putting in terrain in every single box makes me wonder how many times I can say terrain. But yeah, like they have a history of doing this, and the fact that they keep sort of replacing themselves with other skirmish games like Shadow War Armageddon, Necromunda, then Kill Team. They've said Necromunda's sort of staying, Then people thought, well, they were going to do Rogue Trader, but Rogue Trader is actually part of Kill Team. It's just like a separate, well, presumably it's going to be specific kill teams. But yeah, it's a perennial issue, and the fact if you've got a company that is sort of keeping the shelf life of the games quite short, that could cause customer and consumer concern. Games like X-Wing, which have traditionally, like, it's already been around like 8 years, like, you sort of know what you're getting in some of them. Like Guild Ball, they're doing specific seasons, they're quite focused on that, they've already got the history of it. Kill Team seems to have a history of it gets done for a faction, then forgotten about, then done for a faction, then forgotten about. Hopefully this time it's going to stick around and Kill Team will be essentially 40k light, which is what I want, because I don't have the time to have a big ass war game with 70 plus models. So for me, I'm still excited about it, but I just wanted to give sort of just reasons to be cautious, I think. And those reasons, again, it seems like they're selling unique rules or tactics in specific, like, expensive boxes, which I'm not a fan of. Hopefully I'm wrong on that. Terrain is everywhere, it seems, in every single box, and I keep mentioning it all the time, and it seems to be only me who's really strongly bothered by it, but I'm still going to talk about it because it bugs me. Things aren't sold separately, as in, like, it doesn't seem like you can just buy tokens. I may be wrong on that one, but at least, like, the kill teams, you can't just get the models and the data sheets and stuff like that, and the tactics. Simple rules. GW's balance not been particularly great. The simplicity of the rules may make the game boring. I think it's personally too early to tell on that one, and the game may get I was going to say replaced at some point. They might just do like Shadow Warhammer 2 in 2 years time, and all the interest will be gone. I don't think so much that these are aren't overcomable. Like, I think the simple rules probably not existing. It probably won't get replaced if it sells well, so I'm pretty confident. That's it. Don't hate me. These are just, I'm trying to play like devil's advocate. Like, I don't necessarily 100% agree with all of the things that I say. I don't think there'll be issues that will put a lot of people off the game. They might put some people off the game, but I think I'm still looking at a really popular Warhammer 40k skirmish game. I think that's still happening, and I'm very much excited about it. But let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Are you as hyped as I am? And am I maybe too hyped, and maybe this video is trying to bring you back down to earth? Or is your hype still in the stratosphere, long beyond the celestial plane? I don't know what I'm talking about. Or are you not hyped at all, and you look at this video and you're like, yeah, I don't like this game for all of these reasons, and these reasons, and these other reasons. Screw you, Jay, for bringing them up. Let me know your thoughts. Have a beautiful day. Do like, share if you've got people who are a bit too hyped, and subscribe. Have a most beautiful day, and goodbye. Bye, guys.